Welcome, welcome back to this channel. This is Unfiltered Forex with me, Clement, and in this video, I'll be taking you through what to expect in this coming week. So, there are some major events coming up, like you can see, for example, there's a FOMC press conference, like the Fed interest rate decision. So, the Bank of Canada interest rate decision those are on Wednesday. On Tuesday, there'll be some durable goods orders. On Thursday, European Central Bank interest rate decision, and then the GDP numbers for US Q4, and on Friday we get the PCE price index, the PCE numbers. This is the personal income and outlays reports, and this is the preferred measure of inflation by the Fed, by the Federal Reserve. So as you can see, the expectation here is a pause. The market is expecting pause at the moment. And the coming meetings, the market is also expecting more pauses to follow. Let me check that on a new tab. Yeah, as you can see, next FOMC meeting is in 3 days. Yep, this is the table of probabilities. And as you can see, this is 97% chance of a pause in the coming meeting. And the first rate cut currently is expected to come on June. The first rate cut of this year, that is expected to come on June. And then a pause all the way through to 2026. And probably, this is not very trustworthy, but just take into account, or rather note up to this point here, where the first rate cut of this year is expected to come on. So, of course, market participants will be looking forward to the press conference to listen to what Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is going to say about their decision and what they are looking forward to this year. But anyway, that's not the reason why I decided to do this video. The reason why I decided to do this video is because of the events that aren't on this calendar. And I'm sure you remember, if you watched my previous video, Trump is planning to impose a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico coming on February 1st. February 1st is going to be on Saturday, February. Yeah, this week on Saturday. That's 6 days away. It's a whole 7 days away, a full week away. And the reason why this is especially important is because it may come, it may not come, right? 25% tariff on February 1st. That's Canada and Mexico. Remember, there was China, the thing with China tariff, and he said he'd rather not impose tariffs at all on China. If you've been following the news, you know about that. And it seems he's, I don't know, betraying his campaign promises, if I should call it that, but rather taking a different approach on the tariffs he was so determined to put, right? He's rather dialing back on that. And now the market is expecting this 25% may either go to 10% or maybe push forward. Maybe it's not going to happen on February 1st. It's going to push forward to a later date, maybe mid-February or even in March, or just say something. One of two things may happen, but it's not very likely that he is going to stick through with this. Like we've seen in the past, the recent past has been going back and forth with these tariff things. So you may either see it reduced or pushed forward by a month or even by a few weeks. You're likely to see that on Saturday. And when that happens, it's going to happen in the middle of the week, and it's not likely that it's going to be a scheduled release, right? It's like you can see here on the calendar. There is nowhere where it's been mentioned that Trump is going to be speaking. Nowhere. But it may come up in the middle of the week. You might see a new event here listed, Trump speaking. Like that's how it was last week. Yeah, you can see on Monday, US President Trump speaks. US President Trump speaks. These events are usually added on the same day. Like on this one, on Thursday, I can tell you on Monday, this was not here. On Monday, this was not here. On Monday, the 20th, this was not here, but it was updated later in the day. That's when it was updated. This is during the inauguration. It was updated. And then the following day, on no, 2 days later, on Wednesday, that's when this one was updated. US President Trump speaks. It wasn't in the schedule, right? The same way we're seeing on this week, it's not scheduled to speak anywhere, but it may be added on the calendar later in the week. So that's something you need to look out for. And some of these events, they usually catch people off guard if you are not vigilant. Right. So I can tell you the best way to be vigilant is to be constantly checking the calendar, but at least once a day, especially before the New York session begins, just go and check the calendar again. And on the filter section, you can use the 2 stars and 3 stars events, the medium impact and high impact events. You can view them. You can see there are more events. And in case Trump is scheduled to speak somewhere in the middle of the week, you are going to see that if it pops up, right? Yep. And this tariff thing, very crucial. I hope you remember the relationship between tariffs and inflation and price action. It was discussed in a previous video. Yeah. So if he goes through with the tariffs, you might see the dollar gain some strength. If he doesn't go through with the tariffs, you might see the dollar get weaker. You can see here, this is on Friday. You see the dollar has been quite falling for some time. Yeah. And that's likely to continue into next week if he again goes back on his word about the tariffs. Alright, so that's it for this video. I didn't want it to be long. I hope you have learned something new and you have something to look forward to in the coming week. Have a lovely week.